This is a lockdown booty call. A lockdown booty call.
Hello and welcome to Lockdown Booty Calls. My name is Robin Boot and you may recognise me from masterpieces such as the hastily put together jingle I've just made for this podcast. Now, under normal circumstances, I'm a stand-up comedian, musician, photographer, filmmaker, actor, and all sorts of other things depending on what mood I'm in on any given day. But recently that's changed. There's apparently some sort of global pandemic knocking about. You've probably even heard of it. And 2020 has been cancelled. That means no live comedy, no Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and all of the events and campaigns I've been working on with various clients have been put on hold indefinitely. I see many fellow creatives making the most of their newfound free time and pumping out content left, right and centre, but to be honest, personally, I'm struggling to get those creative juices flowing. And I don't really know what to do about it. But in the words of the Beatles, I'll get by with a little help from my friends. Okay, so I prefer the Joe Cocker version. But I'm very fortunate to have a diverse mix of exceptionally talented friends, many of whom find themselves in a very similar predicament to mine at the moment. So who better to speak to in these uncertain times for advice, inspiration, and simply to cheer me up? Maybe they'll even help me get those creative juices flowing again. Then I thought, other people may actually find this useful too. So why not create a podcast? A podcast about creativity. It'd be like Jean-Paul Sartre doing a podcast, but with more hair and a naughtier sense of humour and un petit peu moins français. He loved his helium, did Jean-Paul. So here it is, Lockdown Booty Calls, fun and friendly chats with some of my talented mates who will hopefully share some nuggets of wisdom with us, and maybe even make us laugh at the same time. Who knows? And if that fails and nobody even tunes in, at least it will have kept me out of the fridge for an extra 2 hours. So, from my perspective, that's a win-win. Now, I've only set 2 rules for this podcast. The first rule is no talking about politics. I think people are a little bit fed up with politics. It's a topic that I could rant about for days and days, and that's not what this podcast is about. The second rule is no mentioning the C word. Now, I don't mean if a guest says I will beep it out. I'm talking more specifically about virus and 19 because, again, I think people are a little bit sick of it. So that's it in a nutshell. Lockdown Booty Calls. I'm releasing the first 2 episodes today. Episode 1 features fellow musical comedian Paul Silky White. Silky is an incredible talent. He's well known on the UK comedy circuit. He is a phenomenal musician and naturally hilarious. He also teaches comedy courses, and I chatted to him about staying motivated and disciplined when it comes to writing. Episode 2 features a very good friend of mine, LX. Now, LX is a hugely talented singer-songwriter who has always done things her own way in the music industry. She's travelled the world with her music, and we discussed mental health and setting yourself challenges during this slightly weird period. You can listen to or download this podcast from wherever you normally get your podcasts. If you want a treat for your eyes as well as your ears, check out my YouTube channel because this is also available as a webcast. And it may explain some of the slightly weirder moments during the podcast which have visual elements. If you enjoy this Lockdown Booty Calls podcast, please do share it with someone else you think might like it. Maybe leave a review or even get in touch and give me feedback and suggestions for future episodes. In the meantime, stay safe, get creative, and keep on rocking. Wow!
This is a lockdown booty call.